I'm worried I'm like sleep deprived or something. I'm starting to love my own ideas too much. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's with Wendy. Today we're kind of like turning the tables a little. I have asked you to submit me photos of items that you want to transform. Through that, you will get to see a bit of how I break down tackling a thrift flip. Part of the reason why we're diving a little bit into the process is because this video is sponsored by VSCO. VSCO is an app that I love. I use it to create, discover, connect with other artists. I use this app a lot, so this is kind of an ideal partnership. And VSCO tasked me to make a video that dives more into my sewing process and explain like what goes through my mind when I look at an item or a piece of fabric and decide I will make this out of it. If you've never used the app before, it looks like this. And I use this very heavily when I'm in the creative process. The good, bad, and everything in between in photos goes here. I'll put them in here to kind of like see how they look with different presets. And it gives me a little bit more inspiration on like how I'm gonna tackle these projects, you know, posting it to Instagram, sharing it with you all. If you have not tried this app before, I will put a link for you to download and try the app in the description. It's free. And just as a side note, to show how passionate I am for VSCO, I even paid my own money to join as a member when they launched it. I think they had a couple of exciting features, but the one that I've used the most would be getting to use all of their editing and presets on video. I put out an open call to look for photo submissions of clothes that people are looking to flip. Let's see who's up first. Adriana. She sent in this blue striped dress. You can tell, oh, there's a back tie. You can tell from her twirl, there's a lot of fabric to work with. That's a great thing when it comes to a thrift flip. You want fabric. And one of the things we could do here, slim down the sides a little, and then take all the extra fabric and turn it into like big fun ruffles on the bottom. There. Hope you love that. I, being someone who just loves clothes to be versatile, I think I would end up splitting this up into two pieces. So now I've got like a cute little crop top as well as like a nice billowy skirt, because I think this skirt has some great features to it. I also love that she has this tie in the back. In order to make everything cinch together nicely, all you gotta do is on the top half, sew the ties so that they can come all the way around the back and into the front. And you got a cute little bow as well. You probably have to add like a little elastic to the back half of the skirt to help it fit nicely. But yeah, I'm into this. Let's save this photo. Maria sent us this lovely black dress. There's a lot going on here. It's like roses, black mesh goth, but then like make the shoulders nautical. Very interesting. Since there's applique, I can't help but wonder what would it look like with more applique. We'll keep them for now, but I'm not 100% this is the right way to go in this particular instance. Say for example, we go with adding a one gigantic flower instead. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. This isn't doing it for me. This is an idea. We could also just change the nautical ties and then maybe everything would come together better. Erase, oh yikes. This actually scared me. I felt quite shook just now. I feel like this is the right way to go. Yeah, Maria, my advice for you, change the ties. And maybe giant Gucci flower. Thank you, Elena, for sending in a photo. She's got this like pretty necktie. There's Maya, and the word textile, in case you weren't sure that this was made of fabric. Something I've been kind of tempted to try is I kind of want to see how it would look if we gave it some side ruching. I feel like there's enough room on this dress to do that. One downside though is that it will like not let this fabric really shine through, and I feel like these working women prints is really a key feature of it. Once you ruche, they're all just gonna have like a squished face. Do we think this would look good with balloon sleeves? You could cut off the fabric and kind of like re-pump it into the sleeves. I did that in a previous balloon sleeve tutorial. I'll put in a link in the description if you want to check it out. I think this will work. The idea with this, I think, is if you're gonna go balloon sleeves, you should probably turn it just into a top so that there's a bit of balance. I feel like personally, my approach would just end up being that we turn it into a skirt. And then I think something that would be really, really cute for it would be use the excess fabric. You know, we're all about not generating waste out here. And you just add like a cute little bow. It could be in a red tone or a beige tone. There's kind of two tones going on in this dress. You could do a totally different accent color. I feel like that's what I would do with this. Joanne. Come on down, Joanne. Joanna sent us a plaid vested dress. I feel like Billie Eilish wears a lot of plaid. So yeah, this is one road you could take with plaid. You can just be like, is this plaid too much? No, I could combine 2 more plaids with it. See what I'm saying? Okay, could work. One like cute and easy thing you could do is you could just square out the neckline. So I did a tutorial explaining this a little bit. It looks like I drew a weird chef's hat, but the point is to focus on the plaid, yo. Okay, so see, you could square out the neckline, then this looks a little more like cute picnic gal. And then with the bottom, I feel like there's enough fabric here. If this is like a little big on Joanne, this is what she could do. I would chop it in half, do a little square neckline, and then these shorts, that's the idea that I'm going with here. Trinu, I hope I'm saying your name right. Girl, you look pretty cute. Also, this bathroom is gorgeous. Is this your personal home? The brass legs and the sink, hardware finish, arched mirrors. Okay, and there's a note. I already started by removing the elastic, but I'm kind of stuck from there. Don't have pictures of it without the elastic, but it's basically a white tube. Yep, can you imagine it now? It's a tube. All right, play along with me on this one. I think it's tricky that it's so shapeless. Like it begs, especially this type of fabric, begs to have a little bit of accent. So, ooh, let's try. So like, you know how I'll do lots of tutorials where I show you how to gather? Something I haven't really covered is like strategic gathering, where you kind of just only gather in specific places as part of a little detail or a little accent, but not like just like ruffling the whole thing. You could add those 2 little studs and that would give it like a little bit more of a shape, more intrigue. Oh, another one with all the excess fabric that's in the skirt. Again, if you kind of like give it a little bit of a circle cut, you can get enough bend in it so that it makes a cute little ruffle. And girl, if you have time, may I suggest pearls. Oh man, that's quite the dress. I feel like the flounced shoulders would look even cuter if it was like a little top, and then you could maybe just add like an elastic waistband around the middle. Oh no, that's what she removed. But sorry, Trinu, if you want to do this, you would re-add the elastic waistband around the middle, but then just like cut off the rest of the skirt so it just tapers below the bust. I'm just gonna call this the shimmy shirls, shimmy shoulders, pearl shimmy shoulders. I'm gonna put those into VSCO. VSCO has a fun feature where it will like, once you publish the photo, it will show you related images. So I kind of think through that, you'll get to see like a bit more of a collage of like how the look could all come together. What kind of vibe is the entire outfit? Despite being an open call, it looked like so many items that came in were dresses. So I feel like a With Wendy video is not complete without me doing my own modifications. So actually, I have thrifted a dress based on all these photos, and I'm gonna apply my own consultation to it and transform it into something new. Should I? Stop thinking, just do it. So I got this from Thrift, Awoke Vintage in New York, and it was on final sale, and I kind of think I know why. Like, it's obviously very festive. I don't have a big butt and I have broad shoulders, and this thing is super snug on my small butt and still spacious on my shoulders. Cute button details all over the place, including here on this randomly unnecessary hip flap. When I approach a thrift update, I just try to focus on the thing I like the most that excites me. Like, does it have a fun print? Does it have any like cool sewing details? Since in that case, they've kind of done the work already for you. And for this, the thing I love the most were the shoulders. It's got like this curved raglan cut that you don't find on a lot of clothes anymore. And then I find these shoulders have like a nice little point to them. I don't know if it's that obvious. Also, it's like a keyhole back. So let us try and chop this up into something that I'll wear a little bit more often. All right, so the first step that I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut off the bottom of the skirt, but because I kind of want to leave a little bit of a waistband, let's leave 2 to 3 inches. Since when did I switch back to Imperial? I'm so sorry, folks. We're gonna leave 10 centimeters, like a good old metric person. Okay, now we have a top. Here is basically now the new waistband, but aside from these buttons up here, this part down here has no way to close. I feel like something smart here instead would be if I used the rest of the skirt and made them into like a waist tie. 2 more 10 centimeter strips. We're gonna put 1 on each side. Nobody move. Nobody move. Now that I've sewn this all into like a big ribbon, the plan is to fold it in half, do a good old stitch in the ditch. The goal is to stitch as closely as possible into the seam so that you can't see it, hence stitch in the ditch. And to do this, I just have to keep checking before I sew that I have enough fabric folded under to get caught. It's kind of too much fabric. How do I solve this problem? Okay, wait, I'm gonna take that out. Every time I have to seam rip, people seem to have a hoot about it. I added some pins to the waistband to show what it's like folded up, and that helps me see how much excess fabric needs to be hidden away. Let me just sew these darts in. All right, stitch in the ditch, here we come. For real this time. Moment of truth. Did I catch all of it? I missed a few spots. Okay, I will go over that before I finish. But before I take too long on it, I am going to finish off these waist ties. I'm folding it in, lining it up, straight stitch. I added 1 more stitch along the bottom edge because I feel like it just helps it to look a little crisper. I don't know if you noticed in the footage, I'll try to show it, but there seemed to be a bit of an excess fabric situation on the sleeve seam. And so for that, I think it's a pretty easy fix, but basically you wanna look at the seam from the inside and then make sure it's laying really nice and flat. Wherever the seam is currently, you kind of just like sew a little bit deeper. So this bigger dark stitch is from the original industrial machine. My lighter one, since I'm just using a home machine, is down here. So that helped me basically take out 1.5 centimeters in total. And the only last thing to help you sell your modification as if nothing happened is you should press the seams. Okay, before I show the finished items, here are the 5 beautiful thrift flip creations. I passed all of these through some of my favorite VSCO presets, and also VSCO kind of helped me serve up the mood board that you see in the background. This is the time where you obviously get to vote in the comments on which one was your favorite. Okay, are you ready to see how my shirt thrift flip turned out? Ta-da! I hope this got your creative juices flowing, regardless of your DIY skill level. A lot of the consultation I gave was just like stuff that I thought would look nice, but also are things that I've learned via experience or kind of like within the realm or not in the realm of possibility. And a lot of you have shared with me that you're scared to try because like you don't know if you can pull it off. And that's why I was really excited that this video was sponsored by VSCO. Their whole message with the Make It Anyway campaign is that it is about the journey, not the destination, but chances are if you have a great time along the journey, the destination won't be that bad either. Do not forget to vote in the comments. Don't forget to check out the VSCO app, also linked in the description. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. I will see you all next time. Bye bye.